What's up, guys? I haven't done a review in a while. Xbox's video editor shit kind of sucks. Uh, it finally can record in 1080p, but whenever you edit it, it drops it down to 720 again. I don't want to post a video up, be like, this game looks beautiful, and you guys can only see it in 720, because then it doesn't look that beautiful, and you guys can't experience the beauty of the game then. My phone can record in pretty high fucking quality, so that's what I'm using. I have a laptop, but I don't have all the cables I need to be able to record the video off of my Xbox as well as my chat. So this is not going to be the best quality of a video, but it works for what I'm trying to do in the time being, I guess. But Battlefield 5, that's what I'm going to be reviewing. So I'm not really going to edit and cut this, that way I'm not sitting there pinpointing like, hey, this is fucked up, or hey, this is amazing. That way you can see, like, if I say something about the loading screens, like this one right here, and how long it takes, then you can actually be like, oh yeah, he's not bullshitting us. It does take a while. But I've seen some reviews for Battlefield 5. Most of them seem to be annoying. Like, they don't really tell you what's the issue is with Battlefield 5. It's more or less like a bunch of people that are like, either they absolutely fucking don't know anything about games and they're just like praising it, or they just absolutely shit talk it because they liked Battlefield 3 and 4 more than anything else. And to me that just sounds like they don't like the time period, but they'll be like, no, the time period's fine, but it just sounds like you hate the time period. Alright, so what I just did was a specialization. When you get a gun up to a certain level, which I recently unlocked this, it's pretty fucking badass. This is the MP40. I'm just gonna go over all this. Alright, so selecting your role, right? Every medic revives people faster than any other fucking person. They also can revive teammates. Now, in your squad, the medic can revive any squad member. And hold on, let me turn up the volume on this. I'm gonna turn off that fan too. It's gonna get a little warm in here, but whatever, fuck it. Anyway, so with the squad, every role, like every class, has a role they can play. So field medic, combat medic, they have their different traits. I usually sit as field medic, but as you can see on the bottom, they have different traits. So like, even though all medics have the syringe to revive people at half the rate, if not faster, than any other class, they can also revive anybody on the battlefield except for enemies. They also have these traits. So as a field medic, you got the healer trait, which you gain additional requisition for your squad by providing them bandages. Requisition is important because it means that's kind of like points in a way, and you can use those points to call in airstrikes for, like, if you're the commander, or for your commander to call in those airstrikes, or to call in for a vehicle, or call in for resupplies. And every map has it slightly different, but generally it's like the big ass V1 rocket that you've seen in videos where they come flying in and they fucking just obliterate a command point. That's something you can call in. It takes like 47,000 points to get there. So it sounds like a lot. If your squad absolutely sucks, you're not gonna get it. If you're a squad of just you might get close. I've gotten close as like a sniper, which is I feel like that's pretty damn good, but still, these traits really help with that, and that's kind of how you can get closer, and how you can get like several V1 rockets instead of just, or V2 rockets instead of just one or not one at all, is these traits. So the healer trait gives more requisitions for providing bandages to your squads. And then swift effort trait, you sprint faster when calling out to a downed friend in need of a medic. So now if you're a combat medic, melee expert trait, you have longer reach with melee weapons. An emergency retreat trait, you sprint faster when at critical health. So depending on how you want to play, it can really alter your playstyle. If you want to legit just be a medic, field medics for you. You help out your squad, you're the team player. If you're like running around in deathmatch, for example, you'll probably want a combat medic trait, because that seems a little bit better. You're not going to be reviving people so often in fucking deathmatch, And the requisition doesn't even... There's nothing you can use the requisition orders for in deathmatch. So the combat medic comes into play in like deathmatch. Well, you also can choose between Axis and allies to change like appearance and all that. Obviously you have different weapons, so looking at my MP40 right now, you have a specialization. As you can see, there's a level, like a number underneath all of the stats for it. So it says ammunition, 32 round magazines with 128 rounds in your pack. Now underneath that, you see a number. That number is the level of the weapon. It also has it up in the top right-hand corner, which it also shows how much XP I need to get to the next rank. Now, with these ranks, what you do is you go into these specializations and you can customize the gun as you need for how you play. So right now, I'm boosting the accuracy of my gun, because I prefer a more accurate play. Now, I could have went this route, which is I reload 15% faster and I hip fire way better and has better control, but, I didn't want to. Also, I don't know if you can see it, there's like very small grade lines. So like, there's a line that goes straight down like this, and then there's a line that goes diagonal. So it goes from quick reload to this, or from quick aim to the hip fire or enhanced grip, whatever. And then down here there's one that goes from here to here and here to here, so that you can actually kind of mix it up. But there isn't one in the center, so I can't get like enhanced grips and then come over here and get barrel bending. So if I get enhanced grips, my next upgrade has to be polished action. Or if I get this, ported barrel, it has to be barrel bedding. I can't get enhanced grips and barrel bedding, or ported barrel and polished action. So that way you're not completely like setting up your gun so that it's like the ultimate fucking gun. So it does have some kind of like, if you want a certain playstyle and run around and run and gun, you have to set for run and gun basically. If you don't want to run and gun and you want to be accurate and kind of post up somewhere, you have to set for that. So it kind of makes it so that you're forced into a playstyle instead of being like the ultimate warrior over here, which kind of forces you to play more as a team, which I kind of like, because during the beta, you could pretty much just mix and match as you pleased, and it resulted in players having guns that were just completely OP despite using the exact same gun as you. And it's just like, how the fuck? Whereas in this case, it's not going to be completely OP. So obviously if you're hip firing, you're looking for running and gunning. If you're looking more at accuracy, then you're not going to be running and gunning, and you're going to be shouldering that gun a lot more often. The route I'm taking is for shouldering the weapon, so I shoulder the weapon faster, it's more accurate, and the last upgrade is I move around quicker while aiming. But You can also customize weapons. So you got your sights, which you unlock as you go. A lot of these are unlocked through assignments. So if you're familiar with assignments from every other Battlefield, that's basically what you're doing for skins. But yeah, generally you have these standard sights, so however you want to set, and then the other ones are just the same sight, just a different color, usually. You can upgrade everything, pretty much, all the colors, make it all pretty and stuff. What I don't like is these don't really have any kind of real effect, it seems like. They just don't. They don't do anything. And that's a little annoying, because you can legit see that the barrel is changing, and that should change the way it works, but it doesn't at all. It's a little odd. It just seems like it should, but it doesn't. So that's a little odd to me. The rest of this is just colors, so you know. The magazine does not change the size of the magazine. It just changes the color of it. But if you want to change the size of your magazine, it's in specializations. So it'd be like, well, it's not on this gun, but this one has quick reload and fucking quick aim. But some of them have larger mags as their upgrades. I noticed that pretty much every sniper rifle that has some sort of magazine, they all have extended mags and stuff that you can get for specialization. But then you have progression tree, so you can see what you upgrade, like for each level up. So like, oh hey, I'm gonna get predator looking stuff. And then you can replace the weapon, which that's generally just change what weapon you're using on your loadout. Got sidearms. They're basically completely fucking useless in this game. If you don't get a headshot with them, they don't really do much. It's kind of annoying because, like with the P38 or the Ruby, you'll put all 10 rounds of the Ruby or all 9 rounds of the P38 into somebody and they can still walk away. Like, that's hitting them in the chest with every round. So you kind of have to, like, aim with it better. It's a little irritating. It shouldn't take 10 rounds to drop a motherfucker. But the damage on it is just stupid weak. I don't know why. Especially with guns like the M1911. I love the M1911 in previous Battlefields, like Battlefield 4 and 3. And it's what I run around with. And I can get kills like crazy with it. But for some reason they dropped the damage on, sidearms. And it's a little irritating. So it's just like, the sidearm's pretty useless. I generally roll around with the revolver. Usually takes about 3 hits to kill somebody with the revolver, but it's pretty damn slow. So, it also takes forever to reload, but at least I can kill something with it. Whereas in previous Battlefields, the revolvers were usually too slow to actually kill anything, so it'd be better to use like the M1911. But in this one, the revolver is pretty much the only one that I've found that's like worth a damn to use. But the M1911's not bad. It's just, they're generally pretty damn weak, and it's a little irritating. And then the last fucking sidearm you unlock is the Liberator. It's a one-shot pistol that takes forever to reload. I don't understand why it's so, like, it's one of the weakest fucking pistols. Why is that the last one you unlock? Like, I'm glad that it's something I'm not forced to use, where it's like, this is the first gun you unlock, that you have unlocked as default or whatever. But at the same time, why is the damage so low? I understand that, it's probably really small caliber and all that shit, but if it's the last unlock, and being that it is a single round, I feel like you should throw historical accuracy or damage, trying to be accurate with how damaging it really is, out the window at that point, it kind of make it worth having. Like, at this point, the Liberator is just something to add insult to injury in a way. It's just like, you have to headshot somebody with it, otherwise you're not getting a kill. And I feel like it should be more damaging, but really it's just like a way to insult your fucking opponent. Because if you kill somebody with a Liberator, it's pretty insulting. It's not the easiest thing in the world to hit somebody with, and on top of that, it's so weak that they have to be good at shooting somebody with it. So you either have to be an idiot to get killed by it, or they have to be really good to kill somebody with it, or they happen to have to catch you at just the right time where you're almost dead and they shoot you with it. So it's just like an insult to injury kind of weapon. It's not really useful in any way, shape, or form. It's just an insult. There's some pretty cool fucking melee weapons. So if you've played Battlefield 1, which I didn't like Battlefield 1. The only thing I did in Battlefield 1 was fly. But one of the good things about Battlefield 1 is they had all these different types of melee weapons that were actually really badass compared to like other Battlefields where it felt like everything was a type of knife. So in this one, you got like scout knife, you got a hatchet, you have a club, you have a shovel, you have a pickaxe, you have the cookery, you have the British jackknife. You know, they actually have some pretty significantly different things, like a cricket bat. You can beat somebody to death with a cricket bat. Like, come on. That's pretty fucking awesome. So, I'm glad that they added some pretty, like, different melee weapons. They're not all fucking knives or whatever, you know? It actually has some significant difference to it, so you can feel like you're actually unlocking something. Instead of, oh, hey, look, it's another fucking knife that looks exactly the same, but it's a different color, or some shit like that. Or, oh, hey, this one has, you know, some kind of ridges on it or some shit. There's not a lot of grenades, but, I mean, there wasn't a lot of grenades in World War II, so, I mean, there just wasn't. One of my complaints with fire is it doesn't do a lot of damage. So, the incendiary grenade, it does enough damage to be annoying, but at the same time I feel like it should do more damage. Like, if you play Battlefield 3, for example, I feel like the fire damage in Battlefield 3 was pretty fucking good. Like, sure, it did a lot of damage. Generally, if you're standing where an incendiary grenade goes off, you're going to die, but I mean, that makes sense. If any other grenade goes off next to you, you fucking die, unless it's like a smoke grenade or a flashbang. But you know, it makes sense that if you're standing next to an incendiary grenade and it goes off, you're dead. But for whatever reason, in Battlefield 4, they kind of reduced the damage of fire. Don't know why, but that's what they did. And then in Battlefield 1, they added a flamethrower, and then they reduced the damage of fire further. Probably because they have a flamethrower trooper. And it's just like, well, that's cool because it makes you have, like, a chance against the flamethrower guy, but at the same time, why the hell are you charging a flamethrower guy? Like, that's just dumb. I mean, I've done it, but still, it's not smart. It just wouldn't be smart in any way, shape, or form to charge a guy with a flamethrower. That's just stupid. But they shouldn't have reduced the damage of overall fire damage. They should have just reduced the damage of the flamethrower, not every piece of fire in existence. But, they carried that over into Battlefield 2, or Battlefield 5, my bad. Battlefield 5, where it does a little bit more damage than it did in 1, but it still feels too weak to me. Like, there's no easy way to get the fire off. That's fine, because it's chemical fire. It's not meant to be easily fucking gotten rid of. It's meant to stay on fire and burn you to death. But it doesn't seem to do much damage. Like, I've stood in fire, and I was like, why am I taking damage? And then I stood up, and I was like, oh shit, I'm on fire. That's right. And then I just ran away out of the fire and laid down, and it only took out, like, half my health. And then my buddy just threw a health pack at me, and I was perfectly fine. It was just like, I should have been dead. I laid in that fire for a solid, like, 5 seconds. Like, there's no surviving that. I should have ran away and kept burning and then died. Like, that's what should have happened. But it didn't. So it was a little irritating. Even though I was alive, it was still annoying to me. So I don't like how they did the gadgets. Like, this is something that annoys me, but at the same time I understand why they did it. But generally your first gadget is your, like for the medic, for example, it's either bandages or med crate. You have to have some kind of medical supply. It's annoying because you can't use other gadgets like the smoke grenade launcher and something else. It has to be some kind of medical thing, which makes sense because you are a medic. It's logical, but it's a little annoying because then you can't just be a medic who just has a syringe. But it makes sense because one of the things I used to get annoyed about was the fact that I would find medics that were using like grenade launchers and smoke grenade launchers, and they'd be like running around like that. And it's just like, so you have no medical supplies, you're just a medic? It's like, that's stupid. Or they'd have the paddles and a grenade launcher, and it's just like, well, if I die, you're helpful, but I'm trying to not die. So it kind of forces you to be helpful, and the fact that the paddles are no longer existing and it's just part of the class makes it a lot easier, because then you can have, another fucking gadget, because that's one gadget that you no longer have to worry about. In this case, I have the smoke grenade rifle, but it prevents me from having the AP mine and a smoke grenade rifle while being a medic who can heal himself, who has infinite fucking med bags for himself, You can change appearance, which I'm using the Canis Horribilis outfit. You unlock it through getting to level 20 with the sniper and then completing the assignment for it. But yeah, so you unlock different shit for different assignments, also through leveling up and all that. You can also buy it with the in-game currency. You can buy more of the in-game currency with microtransactions, or you can just earn it